Hi, my name is Lisa Adam, and I'm the Curator of Collections from the Museum of South Texas History. We have so many wonderful things in our exhibits, but I wanted to show you a few things that we are preserving for the future that aren't on display. And it was hard to pick which one to start with. It's like all your children, you don't want to pick which one. But I picked the item that's right here before me on the table. And I'm putting these kind of surgery-looking gloves on because sometimes the oils in our hands might damage artifacts. So this is the artifact that I picked to show you today. And it is not a brush for a giant Persian cat, although it might look like one. This is actually a pair of hand carders or cotton carders or hand combs. They go by different names. These were used to straighten out the fibers of cotton from cotton bolls. This object is actually pretty ordinary. They're very common, and it wasn't even made in South Texas. When I got a magnifying glass out and read this faint label, I saw that it was from the Watson Company in Leicester, Massachusetts. I did a little research and found out that this company manufactured machinery to make textiles, and that Northeast has been a textile production center since the 1700s. But the Watson's company also made these hand cards, and they sold them to women all over around the country. And you probably could have gotten these in your local hardware store. But there's a wonderful story behind these particular cards. The donor told us that these cards belonged to her grandmother, who was a woman named Victoria Pumba, who was originally from San Diego, Texas, and she later moved to Edinburgh, Texas. When Victoria was widowed in the 1930s, so think the height of the Depression, she had 6 children that she needed to help support. To do that, she made quilts. And her granddaughter told us that she would raffle off the quilts in the neighborhood, and it was a big deal. She would make little raffle slips out of ruled paper, and she would make cookies and sell lemonade, and she would raffle off her quilt. And of course, she made the quilts by hand. And to fill the quilt, to make them warmer with batting, she would get cotton from a local cotton gin. And we didn't have a picture of the cotton gin that she got her cotton from in Edinburgh, but I went to our archives and I found another picture of a cotton gin from the same time period, more or less. And this is the cotton gin in nearby McAllen, Texas. So Victoria would have gone to the gin like this to get some cotton for her quilts. And cotton, as you all may know, was very commonly grown in South Texas. Since colonial times it's been here, and we still grow it. And this is a beautiful postcard showing some of the cotton growing in South Texas, obviously before mechanized pickers were very common after World War II, because here we still see workers harvesting the cotton by hand. When Victoria would have gone to the gin, she would have gotten cleaned cotton. And to show you the difference, I've got 2 examples here. This cotton still has the seeds in it, and you can see all the trash and the litter. You can even see a little bit of the cotton boll still. This is some cleaned cotton that she would have gotten this kind from the gin, and it's had most of the trash and the seeds picked out of it, but it's still basically a lump. So Victoria would have needed to use some cotton cards or carders like this to straighten out this cotton and make it ready to go in the batting for her quilt. Now Victoria's carders are a little bit fragile, so I'm not going to use those. But I am going to use another pair that we keep for hands-on and give you just a rough idea of how she might have cleaned the cotton. I am not an expert. If you want to go to YouTube, there are lots of people that are really good doing this on YouTube. But at least it'll give you an idea that she would put this lump cotton on the carders like this. And you can see just by putting it on here, it's already kind of pulling the fibers out in a line. She might have used a little bit more than that. But then she would take the giant cat brush looking object and you would just barely brush. And you can see some of the fibers are getting transferred to the other brush. And she would do this back and forth, probably with more cotton than this, but you can see how the fibers are straightening out. And when you use enough of it, you can actually pull off the cotton in a sheet for the batting. And that's what she would have put in her quilts. So the reason I love the story about these cotton cards is that they're such an ordinary item. You can find them on eBay today, and they don't cost that much. But what was really invaluable to us was the beautiful story behind it of how Victoria supported her family using ordinary items like this. So the stories to us make a big difference, and that's what we want to tell to our audience here at the museum. If you have some stories that tell us something distinctive about South Texas history, we would love to hear them and see your artifacts. Thank you for watching.